Hey, what's up everyone? This is Dave Dobrin, aka Sunnyvale, and today we're doing another video in the Eternal video series. I've got a really nice one for you today. It's Crownroaches, or Echo, or I don't really know what its official name is. You can call it Crown of Possibilities or Clockroaches. And that's because this is a dedicated combo deck trying to assemble Clockroaches and Crown of Possibilities. Um, so let's look at Crown of Possibilities. Whenever you draw a card, or whenever you draw a unit, it gains a random skill. And it'll keep on gaining different skills until it has all of them. And I think there are about 15 maximum. I posted a picture of a unit that had all 15 actually at some point. And that includes sweet ones like Echo, Destiny, Killer, Deadly, Quick Draw, Charge, Warcry, Double Damage. Anyway, once you assemble a unit that has all of the skills, it can basically win the game for you, even if it's very small. But the best Echo card is Clockroach, which, when you play it, all the other Clockroaches in your hand and deck get +1/+1. So you start out with the 2/2, then you get 3/3, 4/4, 5/5, etc. So this deck looks to abuse the Echo mechanic by redrawing these Echo cards over and over again. For example, if you Dark Return the Clockroach, you draw 2 Clockroaches. If you put the Clockroach back on top with like a Cloudsnake Harrier or a Second Sight, put it on top of your deck, and then you draw it again, you draw 2 more Clockroaches. So the Clockroaches just propagate and you get more and more of them. Sandform also gives you 2 Clockroaches instead of just 1. And Herald Song, well, that's there to kind of draw more cards, because you can't really win with you can't win in this deck without Clockroach or Crown of Possibilities, preferably both. You really want both. Okay, so let's look at some of the deck construction. This is a really interesting list. You're playing for Whispering Wind, which says whenever it attacks, you can discard a card to draw a higher cost card from your deck. And that's really useful because you need Clockroach and Crown as often as possible. So you don't want too many cards that cost 3 or 4. You'll notice that the only cards that cost 3 or 4 are Clockroach, Crown, Push Onward, and Cloudsnake Harrier. And I think all of those are pretty necessary for this deck to function. So you can use Whispering Wind to discard a 2, and you hopefully draw one of your combo pieces. You've also have New Stranger to go with Crown as a backup plan, and also just to act as roadblocks. And you've got a little bit of removal, just 2 Permafrost and 4 Lightning Storm. Those cards can be shuffled in and out. You can play Temple Acolyte if you're not expecting as much Queen, or add more Permafrosts if you think Permafrost is good. And then just a lot of ways to abuse the Echo mechanic. You've got Second Sight, Sandform, Cloudsnake Harrier, Dark Return. Okay, so this deck is it's kind of goofy. There are definitely shenanigans involved. I actually do think it is competitive. It has a lot of good matchups and just a few that are abysmally bad. So if the decks that are good against this don't show up, you could be okay. Those 2 decks in particular are Queen, Bandit Queen, which is why we have 4 Lightning Storm, and Dracano, which is just so difficult to fight with this deck. You can have a God draw and still lose to Dracano with just like a slightly above average draw. So yeah, you just can't beat those 2 decks consistently. If those are prevalent in the metagame, don't play this deck. But this deck is pretty good against Combray and TPJ control, as long as they don't find their decays, and other slow decks, because it gives you time to find your combo, do some crazy stuff, and then pump out a lot of Clockroaches that can just kill them. So hopefully we'll get some good games in with this deck today, and yeah, see you guys in a bit.